Hi guys, it's Chantel with Wildberry Quilting, and I've got a new fatquartershop box today, and it looks like they've got their pretty boxes back, which means absolutely nothing, but it's still fun to get a pretty package in the mail, so I'm still kind of happy about it. Is that silly? I know it is. Do you ever feel that way about silly things? I know when I get a really pretty package in the mail, I'm always really excited about it. And it seems so silly, but it's just so much more exciting to get something that's bright and shiny rather than something that's just, I don't know, plain and uninspiring. Paper! That's our first thing. All right. So this order had to go in ASAP because I needed the backing fabric for my Better Together quilt, 2 big box quilt that is just sitting there ready to be bound. That's not the backing. I already have the backing on it. This is the binding. I was thinking, wait a second, I know I have that quilted. How did I quilt it without having a backing on it? I found something else to back it with. This is the binding. I've got myself confused, apparently. Okay, now this is exciting. I haven't seen these before, but I've been thinking that I want to somehow sign my cross stitch work, and I've been trying to come up with ideas. And one of the ideas that was mentioned on Reddit was using gold floss to put your name or your initials. So I'm working on some plans. I want to try some things out. And I will be doing an upcoming video about that. All about signing and your cross stitch and different things, different ideas for it. I wasn't sure which color of gold floss to get for this. So I picked out the light gold floss, and I think this is the dark gold floss, but there is very little difference. The difference is more apparent in the camera than what it is in person. It's very, very minimal, but I would say the light gold floss looks more like real gold to me, and the darker gold floss, it just looks like maybe a little bit slightly more brassy, but it would probably show up better on lighter fabrics. So I don't think it's a bad thing to have both of them and just kind of work from whichever one works better with your project. I can't wait to play around with those. All right, next up, I got myself a new Olfa rotary cutter. Do I need a new one? Well, I wanted a pink one. I know, but I really enjoy my tools being something that is beautiful and inspires creativity. And the aqua is great, but it's nice to have different colors too, so that you can keep one for, one has the more dull blade on it and one has the sharper blade on it. And then depending on what it is you're wanting to cut, you can switch back and forth. Need to cut paper this time, grab the dull blade. Silly, right? All right, I got some quilty things in here too. I'm gonna put the fabric aside for the end, and we're gonna get to patterns. Ooh, what is that? Okay. This pattern is gorgeous. I am signed up for this pattern company's website or their emails. So I actually seen when this pattern dropped and I fell in love with it. And I ended up coming across it under the new releases while I was searching and doing research for the spring quilty inspiration video. When I seen it was finally released, and I just couldn't wait any longer. I had to get it immediately. I'm very excited about that. I just adore this pattern. It is so beautiful. It's just these beautiful, very vintage looking roses. And it's called Vintage Stitching. What is that? Oh, cool. Okay. So I actually forgot that I got this. It's been on my list. It's been on my wish list and it hadn't come out yet, or maybe it had and it just had gone out of stock. But I've been wanting this. It is a stitch chart for these absolutely stunning little birds. I think maybe they're chickadees. I could be wrong. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But the chart is called Blossoms and Birds, and it's by Erin Elizabeth. This is just so gorgeous. I can't wait to stitch this up. And it is huge. Look at the size of that chart. I was expecting it to be like, you know, like this size, but it's giant. And it's only a little chart. It's only 56 by 84 inches. But hey, I mean, that means it'll be nice and big to work off of, right? So no problem seeing that. Now, I've got quilty fabric and I've got cross stitch fabric. Let's do cross stitch fabric first. I got some Fiber on a Whim, which is my favorite. I love Fiber on a Whim. And I got this really bright green. It's almost like an apple green, but it's not called that. It's called peridot. It is, when I say apple green, I'm thinking like very, very light Granny Smith. But it's called peridot. And it is very, very light, but very green too. It's pretty. I like it a lot. And I'm going to have to check and see if my new chart for the fabulous house will work on this, because this would be really cool for that greenhouse one. Although I don't want to make the same mistake and have it not show up. And if you're wondering, this is 20 count Aida. So it's kind of small. But I wanted to get into stitching some of the smaller thread counts, because right now I've got a lot of 14 count. And, well, I shouldn't say a lot. I have a couple. I really don't have that much cross stitch fabric. You guys have seen me unbox every cross stitch fabric I have. So that's the entirety of my stash. And then this is also 20 count Aida. And it is also Fiber on a Whim. This one is called Lipstick. Oh my goodness, it is so pretty. It's not quite as vibrant as it's showing up on camera. It's got a slightly more dusty or powdery kind of a hue to it, but it's very, very pretty. That's pretty close to what it is in person. Nope, too bright now. It is beautiful though. And again, that one's called Lipstick. 20 count Aida, Fiber on a Whim. And Fiber on a Whim always uses Zweigart fabric. which is one of the reasons why I chose to work with them, is because I really prefer this Weigart fabric to some of the others that are out there. So I really like the overdyed companies or hand-dyed companies, because these ones would be hand-dyed companies. I like the hand-dyed companies that use Zweigart. All right, the fabric. Now this bundle looks so petite and cute. I've had this on my watch list for a while now. I've been looking at it on fatquartershop and Etsy and all over the place, and I just love it. It is the Honey Fusion Art Gallery Fabrics bundle. We've got this really adorable one that has, I wonder if I'll be able to get that back in there if I pull that off. So we've got these beautiful little bee skeps, and there's like flowers, and I think there's bees in there somewhere too. These sweet little flowers. Oh, this beautiful sunshiny gingham. This is different. Kind of looks like maybe abstract bows or butterflies or something. I'm not sure. What do you think those are supposed to be? I'm gonna go with abstract butterflies. These sweet tiny little flowers all lined up in rows. And we've got this little sprinkle dot, polka dots. Oh, I like this one. They're like little buttercup flowers, except for they're white with a yellow background. Buttercups would be yellow, but that's what they make me think of. The color is very similar. A honeycomb, little random white spots on yellow. And last, but definitely not least, because this might even be my favorite one in the bundle, we have these gorgeous little flower sprigs. I adore these. They are so sweet. Simple, but sweet. I love florals like that. All right, that is everything. Thank you so much for joining me. Please remember to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you again next time. Bye. Get back in there. Okay.